Hello YouTube vintage stereo collectors. Now here's something you don't see every day. I don't know if anybody recognizes this unless you're from southwestern Ontario and familiar with Electrohome of the 60s and 70s. Made in Kitchener. And this is actually an H30 rear channel amplifier that was, if you bought a console from Electrohome, and during the brief quadraphonic era, if you wanted to listen to quadraphonic recordings, you could get, there was a decoder built into this and the rear channel amp to power the speakers. And I picked this one up at a thrift store for a very low price, and it's in very nice condition. No scratches on it. Beautiful walnut sleeve. It even has the original label on it. It had a rusty wire tie holding the cord together. I don't know if it had ever been turned on, to be honest. And the thing, it's beautifully built. Obviously hand built. What's interesting, I've kind of made it a hobby of mine. I put electronics made in Canada, particularly the Kitchener-Waterloo area. And I started to look at this, and this was actually not made by Electrohome. It was made by Marsland Engineering, which was just up the street. Marsland Engineering and Aerospace built electronics for the Apollo moon missions. And I opened this up and I was like, hey, that kind of looks familiar. Especially the boards. They have the ME logo on them. And it had a 3500 microfarad capacitor, which was open, completely dried out, useless. I paired one onto it here. And this is actually a quasi-complementary amp, capacitor coupled. So, I mean, it's a few minor things to make it usable as an integrated amp. It had RCA outputs for speakers, not much good. Over here is a blank. And what this is, behind here was a connector. If you bought the right model of console, this thing dropped in, sort of like a lunchbox, into your car. No, it dropped in and the connector meshed. You took off this plate and the connector would mesh, and then it would be integrated with your stereo into a quad unit. So I added some jacks to this plate. So you can use screw terminals, and you can actually use these exactly the same thread and pitch as most banana connectors. I might upgrade to that. And this has a crazy array of inputs and outputs. This plug here is for an optional balance control. So you can use, and this is kind of neat, I don't know if you caught this, but on the front there's like a joystick, fader, and balance. So in one position it's out of the circuit and there's no balance. Look at how, oops, almost dropped the camera. This control, look at the way it's made. 4 potentiometers, a suspension. I mean, it's made to last. But this switch back here either puts it in or out, either the external one or this one. There's a high-low impedance for an input here, this input here. They're all line level, no phono. And this is the discrete input, so straight through. And this adds the front channel if you had another amp. So there's a few combinations with this. But I did the caps in the power supply and turned it on. I'm going to put the camera down for a second because you got to see what's on the back of this. It's a little bit heavy, actually. Check this out. 4 2N3055s. One of them was blown. So I actually just put 4 new ones in so they're matched. The boards are high quality. It has all the labels, who built it, who tested it. Kind of a neat unit, and it actually has really good sound just through headphones. So I want to try it on a stereo, see what it sounds like. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening.